Since you will have to write an essay for the test, we created a module for how to write a timed essay. Of course, you won't be able to take all the time that you did when you wrote your draft and revised and edited for a class, so we're going to go over how to do this in a shorter amount of time. In this module, we're going to take a look at how to write a timed essay. Now, this is a little bit different because we've taught you the writing process and said it's planning, drafting, revising, and editing. And within that, we've taught you how to construct the essay and build a thesis, build your introduction, write good body paragraphs with topic sentences, and then write a strong conclusion. And then after you're done with that draft, to revise and edit the paper. And in a sense, we've said that's where writing begins, is that you've got your draft. Now it's time to revise and edit it. But when you write a timed essay, the situation's totally different. So let's take a look at how it is. Here's some tips on how to get started. First and foremost, take a deep breath and read the question carefully. You're not going to come up with a topic, they're going to give you one. So address the question and topic that the prompt is asking. Read it a couple times. You definitely want to make sure that you understand what are they asking me, and then you've got the idea of, okay, here's the topic, here's what they want me to answer. And then from there, take time to plan. And we'll talk about how important planning is in a minute. Leave time to revise the essay. And then, of course, if you have to, you're going to have to change your thesis, and we'll talk about why that comes into play in a second. So planning. After you read the question, you may want to use the T-chart method. This is where you just draw a T on a piece of scratch paper, and you say, okay, based on this question, I agree, I disagree, here's the pro, here's the con. Whatever it is, you're going to write down your reasons why you agree or disagree with the topic. This gives you an idea of what your thesis is going to be. And then also, if you come up with 3 of these things, it gives you an idea what your body paragraphs are going to be about. So the only thing you're really left with is writing a conclusion, and we've kind of talked about that earlier, how to come up with an effective conclusion. So after you plan, you're going to choose your side. You're going to write the introduction. Remember, writing the introduction, that doesn't change much. You're going to work from the general statements to very specific thesis statements. Now, you may not have statistics and quotes and all that at your disposal while you do this, so you may have to just come up with a general statement like the one I've done here. In society today, a great debate has emerged about what is the best pet to own. So it's general enough. You can explain it further in the next one, have a transition, and then have your thesis. But please make sure you have a thesis. That's one of the most important parts of this, is that you have a thesis, because again, it's going to guide this essay as you write it. Planning is very important because you want to stick to the topic, present a thesis about the topic, and have the body paragraphs defend the thesis. If you do not plan, you're going to just start writing, and then ideas will pop in your head and they may be all over the place. That affects the cohesion, it affects the coherence, it affects the flow. This is how bad essays start. They don't have any planning and somebody just starts writing. It's called free writing. It's off the top of your head and it's not drafting. Drafting is going to be a big part of this final copy, so think very carefully as you write. Make sure your body paragraphs have topic sentences that follow the thesis. Make sure you use enough details in the body paragraphs. We talked about that when we talked about body paragraphs. If you have a little short paragraph, maybe you need to add something else. And then, of course, end with a strong conclusion, and we've talked about methods to help you with that. When you're revising and editing, remember you're not going to have time to do a complete revision or to edit it properly. You are going to have to make use of the time you have the best way you can. Check the thesis statement to make sure it covers the topics from the body paragraphs, changed if it does not. So let me explain that a second. You're writing this essay. You get to body paragraph 3 and you've forgotten this really great idea that defends and supports your thesis. So you write the 3rd body paragraph on it. Your thesis may or may not reflect that, so you have to go back and change the thesis. It's worth it to change the thesis if your body paragraph is really strong and really advances or supports your thesis. Look to see if you have good topic sentences is the next thing you need to do. Give the essay one last read for spelling, word usage, grammar, and punctuation errors. And if you have the time, read it a few more times to make sure you've corrected any errors. When time's up, turn it in and take a deep breath. Let it all out. You've done the best you could under the circumstances. Nobody likes to be rushed when they're writing. Nobody likes to be timed when they're writing. However, it's a part of academic writing. It's to see how well you can formulate ideas and turn those ideas into academic writing under pressure. And it is an important part of college. And in fact, it's important before you get into college because this is how you're tested.
So breathe, relax. You're done. You did the best you could. And hopefully now you're in Credit English.